don't we just love them? Now that everybody has access to internet, we hear them all day, every day. The latest 7 Series has been, so to say, controversial and certainly a victim of opinions. Precisely the grille. You don't like it, you think it's hideous. I get it. Yet there are some people out there who think that this car has got balls and edge. You see, cars are like people. Looking at them is only half of the experience and half of the story, because what's underneath usually matters the most.
1, 2, 3.
Time to launch the beast. The windows here are actually so thick that I had to use an additional antenna, so hopefully that will work. Let's put you into sport mode, gearbox into sport. I will use this boost paddle, which I will pull towards me, so hopefully that will give me a nice shove. Foot on the brake, foot on the throttle, boost button. Off we go. Come on, BMW, let's go. I'll tell you what, speed is everything, and when performed in such lavish environment, it feels even sweeter. So the declared 0 to 100 is 4.8 seconds, and I am 5 seconds. Where did it all go wrong, darling? Anyway, I think it's acceptable. I mean, look at the size of this car. Top speed is 250 kilometers an hour. Under the bonnet, I've got a good old-fashioned combustion engine. It's 3-liter straight 6, which produces 313 horses and 450 newton meters of torque. This is the 750E model, and when the E is sneaking in, we know we've got an electric motor, so old with new. This is a plug-in hybrid, and the electric motor sure does give us some extra shove, because the total power is 489 horses and 700 newton meters of torque. All-wheel drive system to handle all this punch, 8-speed automatic gearbox. Now BMW declares electric range 87 kilometers. When the rubber hits the road, we'll find out. To charge the battery from flat to full using a wall box at home, 7.4 kilowatts, it will take you just 3 hours. I actually think that this setup, a plug-in hybrid, works ever so well for this sort of a car. Now there's also the full electric and diesel if you're doing a lot of long distance journeys. And that's enough about the numbers under the bonnet. Being here is an experience for both the passenger but also the driver. It is very comfy, but you already know this. You don't feel any bumps, any imperfections. It's like a German cocoon. And let me just emphasize, the ride here is absolutely angelic. It is lush, it is peachy. And I'd say, unlike 7 Series, it's closer to Rolls-Royce. And contrary to popular belief, it is comfier than an SUV. The suspension can be, and it is softer, in saloons. In SUVs, it has to be firmer to prevent it from leaning. And the answer is, well, very simple. Physics. The electric range you'll get here is about 70 to 80 kilometers, 40 to 45 miles. It does come in very handy around town. But once you're out of electric juice, and if you decide not to charge a battery at all, your fuel economy will be, well, below 8 liters. Now let me remind you, this car is equipped with a straight 6 combustion engine and pumps nearly 500 horsepower. If that's not excellent, I don't know what is. And what a cruiser this car is. Quiet, refined. We've got upgraded adaptive cruise control, which means it'll keep a safe distance from the car in the front of you. It will also steer to keep you in lane. But if you're in America, you can take your hands off the steering wheel and the car will drive itself. Not in nanny Europe, unfortunately, I'm afraid. But don't think you can just take your hands off the steering wheel and get up to no good. Text, read, sleep, no, because the big brother is watching. You've got infrared cameras which observe your eyes. So it's a bit like a woman actually. And if you misbehave, she'll alert you. And if you don't listen and you don't rectify your behavior, oh, she will punish you. And she will stop you right here, right now. The boot space is 525 liters. It's actually pretty long. The back seats, of course, they do not fall down because they are proper armchairs. But the space here is big enough for a couple of suitcases, and that's enough about the boot space. The cabin is elegant. It is not very traditional. In fact, it is rather modern. What is traditionally exquisite are the materials, the quality, the fit and finish. The leather is so soft. It looks and smells divine. Alcantara roofing. If you do not wish to have a leather, you can go for the vegan option. It is called Veganza. Now, speaking of extras, I love all the matte paint colors, but especially the Tanzanite blue. It just looks so beautiful. Or you can go for the two-tone paint color, and then the car looks a bit like Rolls. Then again, it is the same company. Beautiful steering wheel. You've got augmented reality in the front of you, unlike a Mercedes where you have it here. This is far less distracting. Now, the latest iDrive, brilliant iDrive. The system is easy, straightforward, extremely intuitive. The graphics are crisp, crystal clear. The system is just such a pleasure to use. Down here, you've got air vents. This is to set up the direction, and the sliders to set up the intensity. Down here, you've got the swivel. You can operate the screen, your driving modes, traditional knob for volume control, petite crystal gear lever. I like that. It's very, very elegant down here. Now, it might seem like a lot of gimmicks and extras, and it will take you several weeks to learn it all. But I promise you, when you're sitting in those seats, these are splendid. You won't mind it at all. But now it is time to move to the back. I think that the back seat is actually better than the front. So you do need a driver. Now here you've got this large 31-inch 8K resolution screen. You can play YouTube, you can play TV, anything on this screen. The seats are absolutely gorgeous. They recline, they adjust, they massage, they cool you down, they warm you up. I think that this cabin is actually better than S Class. It's closer to Maybach S Class. And with this, BMW truly does set a new standard. Open, airy, true modern luxury. Even though it's not a car for aggressive driving, should the need arise to accelerate around the corner on a twisty road, don't you worry, child. The handling here is superb. The car sits flat, it grips well, the steering is responsive. You feel what is happening with this car and you sense where it's at. Now, don't let the size intimidate you. It's easy to drive, maneuver and park. In a sport mode, it feels sharp, it feels punchy. And this gorgeous straight six. Because it's no sports car, the sound is a little bit subdued, but there's enough rumble to make you smile. Gorgeous. Competition of this car used to be Mercedes S Class, Audi A8, and I use past tense on purpose here, because the latest 7 Series knocks it all off. It is closer to Maybach, it is closer to Rolls-Royce. Design is subjective, it is bold, it is opulent, it is in your face. And you might not like it, but there'll be plenty of people who do, including myself. Besides, BMW estimates that 45% of sales of this car will actually take place in China. And do you really think people who buy this car actually care what other people on the internet think? I'm afraid not. Let me ask you another question. If you love a car, do you really care what other people think? Nah. Otherwise, it's a pretty sad life. Now, BMW does premium and luxury ever so well. But with the latest 7 Series, it has set a completely new benchmark. It is a dream of a car. I absolutely adore it. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye.